I'm going to go over two tickers within Vanguard's Total Stock Market Index Fund and then go over a trade that I took today as well. First up is CVS. We ended the day at $51.52, up 7.31%. Congratulations if you've made some money off of this ticker. To the north side from where we are takes us to one level of resistance and a potential take profit area at roughly 52.90. Above that, 53.79. And at 4 standard deviations, roughly 54.69. This used to be the middle of the trend, and that has turned into resistance. To the south side from where we are takes us back to one level of support at 51.08. I will mark that out. Oh, wait a moment. I'm going to switch it to purple for the new year. The next level I'm tracking would be roughly 49.29, 48.39, and 47.52. Obviously, many levels of support and resistance in between. This gap opens up at roughly 49.88. It closes to the downside at roughly, oops, let me try that again, 48.09. And this used to be a middle of the trend line that I have marked out. That has turned now into support. Looking left, you can see that this gap is still in play to the downside. This is a landmine to watch out for. That will take us down to roughly 46.02. Note the bounce here at support. Clear sell-off at resistance. Down and it touched this line basically. Bounced back up, going sideways, another leg up. Sell off at resistance, and then just going up slowly. But if we go sideways and consolidate, I will anticipate this line to be from where we are, support and a bounce off of that potentially. But the RSI still turning up, not overextended. We are overextended when you get to 70 and above, and oversold at 30 and below. You can buy and sell based off of the RSI too. I know that my dad is doing that, using that as one of his strategies. And I will go over to the daily. It's been a little while since I've looked at this. Oops, stay on page. All these lines here I've marked it out for my gap and go trades, but it filled the gaps to the upside that I was tracking, and then I stopped taking a look at it. So it's been a while. And on the daily, you can see where we've fallen. These are the old middle of the trends, and look, we've gone down. So right now, this is where we are, and the window to the north takes us to 61.67, and we're grinding here. Basically, we could be going down and then following this path, or hopefully going sideways. But the lower channel would take us to roughly 39.76. Fingers crossed that we don't get that low. The 1-year price target is now $63.18. This line I've marked out. Actually, let me change that to white. And oops, Command Z. So we are here, and then the target, oh, where did the target's right here. From here to here is what we're shooting for. Reset that, and then I want to show you one other thing. As far as price goes, I've looked at this. Now, going back to May, we hit 57.40. And then June, you could have sold out a little bit for a gain there at 60.22. And then we've been slowly, well, we went up there, but slowly cracking. I stopped looking at the price on October 18th, or noting the price. But today we're at 51.52. So that's pretty good. And what about the other gaps? So we have other gaps This one closed to the downside on the 19th of December. Basically, it took a day to close out. Oh, and this is on my watch list. When it was 51.52, I made a note that the RSI was falling on the monthly. I should go back and look at that. And this is the target to the upside. I am not a fan of retail stocks, or at least healthcare retail stocks, but when I see an opportunity just for a trade, I'll point it out, which I am doing. So that's going to take us to 55.10 eventually. And we are not in the channel, not in the zone just yet, but maybe well, today it didn't hit, obviously, but actually it could touch 2 standard deviations Tuesday if we continue to go up. But the stock market isn't that simple. You're going to go up to resistance, fall back down to support, back up, and then make our legs up and down and all over the place. But just something to be aware of to the upside here. Now, the next one I want to go over is MRNA. I just recently talked about this. Still at the bottom of the board for me. And I tried to buy in this morning, but I got so busy. I was actually sleeping when we hit $31.94. And then I was tracking it, hoping it would go back down to this level, and it never did. And then I got busy and left, and then I came home after the market closed, so I did not put in a buy order. But from the low of today to today's price of $35.15, that's a 9.85% return in one day. That is awesome. And it tanked because there was a report out by this, I don't know, was it the CEO, somebody, or they reported some financials and said the revenue forecast of 1.5 billion to 2.5 billion, that was the revenue forecast, and it was downgraded from 2.92 billion. So it cratered. But look at that. So on the opening, all got slammed all the way down to here, and that was a buy-in. On the graph here, and just for dip buyers as well, anything below, it was down 20%. I was trying to get it at 21 or 22% down in that level, and it never made it. And at the end of the day, we went down only 16.80%. So congrats if you got in. And now I'm going to watch for, I think it's going to do another run to the south side. I hope anyway, fingers crossed, because I want to dollar cost average in. I have some at 37.29 and some at 48 I bought on accident. Don't even get me started there. But that's okay, I'm not worried about it. All right, so I see this gap that we need to clean up. This closed to the downside at 42.60. All right, delete, no longer a threat. But we popped up and then went sideways, and then today got slammed down off of that bad news. Oh, let me delete this. All right, what happened here? I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. So this gap to the downside is done. I just have to make this just a little bit bigger so I can grab. And right there. Okay, and then this gap, 41.20, touched on December 10th. It opened up on November 22nd. Delete that. Oh, and this gap to the upside touched on November 29th. It opened up on the 26th. Wait. November 25th, sorry, and November 29th. Wow, look at this. I just have not gone back to clean this stuff up. That touched at 41.55. These are all price targets I was tracking, and it came true. And what happened up here? Oh, look at this. This is nice, something to look forward to. We've got a gap to the upside here, another gap to the upside here, but this is a long ways off. I will clean that up later. And let's go to the daily really quickly. On the daily, we're still falling, so I anticipate price to continue to go to the downside. This line, I'll flip this over. This was, I think, on the monthly that I marked this, but this is hard to see. But we've got other gaps to the upside here, but that's okay. I'll clean it up again like I mentioned earlier. I will do that later, not bore you to tears. So 35.15 is where we are right here. To the upside, roughly 62.41. To the downside, 8.36. Don't hold your breath for that one. And the earnings is coming up on February 20th. The 1-year price target is still $70.30. I have it on the 7th. I marked out at 71.40, revised downward. So pay attention to that as well. Let's take a look at this on the monthly, the RSI. So I'll just delete this one. So the lowest we've gone on the monthly is here. On the weekly, we've fallen below that point, still turning down, so that's good. Good if you're trying to buy this for cheaper than where we are, and that's the daily. So the daily is still falling, and it has not reached the point where we hit the lowest level on the monthly. All right, let's go back to the 5-minute. And we're cracking on the 5, overextended, okay? So that's to be expected there. Back to the 5, and what I want to do is remove that. I want to go over a trade that I took this morning. I'm like, what the heck? I'm just going to buy in. I could have gotten it for a penny less than, I think, what I bought it for. But the low of the 52-week low is 0.19. Oh, it's right here. And had I caught it earlier in the morning, I could have purchased it at 0.20, but I bought in at 0.2051. And now we've ended at 0.2229, down 1.63%. And like I said, I was gone all day. I would have sold out. So I'm up for the day 8% in one day. That's pretty good. I do not expect this to continue up, to run up that much without consolidating, because on the 5, we've already cracked the overbought area. The highest we've gone, here, I don't even know, but I'm just going to mark it out right here. Could we go from here to here? Yeah, but after that point, you can expect it to fall down and price will fall with it. So I'm going to get up, get in, get up, get out. My opportunity to get out today was limited for myself. All right, so we filled this gap. Oh, no, we didn't. Yay. So that's one gap to the upside to look forward to. Doesn't mean we're going to hit it tomorrow, but the chances are pretty good. So that is a gap to the upside of 0.2259. So I'm going to, I don't know, should I chance it and then hit my sell limit here at 0.23? Yeah, maybe I will. Or play it conservatively, get the heck out, and then just close it out here. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, the next gap to the upside that I have been tracking is this one. Let me just, oh, that's marked out. No, let me delete that. There's a tiny one right here. Forget it. I'm not even going to bother with that one. Oh, and this gap is done to the south side, and that was at 0.2564. Oops. Where is the gap to the upside? Huh. I'll have to look at that later. And now let me go over, let me delete this. I will go over price targets for you. So we are here, the next level of resistance. Again, there are many in between, 0.2309, 0.2411. If you want to see the other lines, flip it to the 1 minute, the daily, weekly, whatever you like to play. The middle of the trend takes us back down to here at roughly 0.2005. I'm just going to mark that out. Okay, 0.1800, 0.1696, and don't hold your breath, 0.1594 for it to get down to this level in 1 day. All right, that does it for me. That is a look at CVS, MRNA, and BNGO. Have a great trading day.